Hey guys, it's Rebecca for Mama Bear Custom Wreaths, and welcome to my channel, Mama Bear Custom Wreaths, where I make wreaths and all things home decor, and I show you how I do it all. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Hit that subscribe button so you guys don't miss any of my tutorials. All right, so today we're going to be working with a grapevine wreath, and this is a grapevine wreath. It's basically a bunch of twigs, wood, all tied together into, they have oval shape, they have round shape. I'm using, it looks kind of ovally actually. So I think this one's an oval. Or it could have been meant to be a circle and it just comes out looking ovally. But this is what we're going to be using for our wreath. And I have this adorable little welcome to our patch sign. And I'm going to be using some florals and some ribbon with this. So first things first, I'm going to attach my sign. And I think I would like my sign to be right there. So I'm gonna get, since our carrots are orange, I got some orange Chanel stems so that you can kind of hide that you're using a Chanel stem. And basically what I'm gonna do is poke through my sign and then poke through the grapevine like so that I can tie my wreath sign to my wreath base. Now we got to be careful. We're gonna have leaves falling out. Prior to me starting this video, I did clean out this wreath as much as I could. So there's a bunch of leaves that are just gonna be falling out. These wreaths are a little messy to work with. So keep that in mind in your craft area. Maybe not do this in a carpeted area. So I have my sign, and I'm tying it like this. And I'm just gonna tie that to the back of my wreath. I'm not gonna tighten it so much yet because I may still move it around. So we're gonna just tie it easily so we can easily remove it if we need to be. And I think that the other piece of Chanel should be here. So I'm gonna poke through my sign, go to the other side. So this one's loose. The wood, what I mean loose is the twigs aren't so tight together. When you are purchasing them, look and see how tight the twigs and the wood pieces are to each other. The tighter they are, the harder it's going to be to get things through them. So you don't want them too tight. And again, on the other side, you don't want them too loose either, because then it's going to be really hard to stick things in there and keep them in there, and you'll see what I mean. So I have my sign, my other side of my sign, I think I like where it is, the position, so I'm just going to tie that a little bit. And that's what we have so far. Okay, now let's start working on our greenery. So I have these cute little, I don't even know what the name of this is. It doesn't tell me the name. But I found these in my stash. So just gonna cut them out. And I do have a glue pot going right now, so. All right, guys, I'm gonna put you guys bird's eye view so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, guys, so I'm gonna put a bow right about here. And I have these pretty ribbons that I chose. So I think this one's gonna be the first ribbon we choose. I'm gonna cut this part. I am using my ribbon scissors. Okay, so I'm gonna make my tails. I always like to make them just a little bit longer than I might need, because you can always cut, but you can't go back and grow the tail back. longer. So about this long, I'm going to make a loop, and let's see about how big we want our bow to be. I think that's a good size right there. So I'm just eyeballing it. I'm gonna pinch it, and I'm not gonna measure it because your grapevine may be bigger, smaller, your sign might be a different position. So I'm eyeballing how big I want my bow to be relative to my sign and to the size of my actual grapevine. Okay, now we're gonna loop from the back to the front. It's about the same size. Pinch it and take the loop from the front to the back. Measure it. It's about the same. And then measure it from the back to the front again. Make sure our loops are the same size. That loop seems to be a little bit big. All right. So I think that looks cute, doesn't it? 4 loops. And then we're gonna leave the tail a little long. You can always cut it shorter. So this is the bottom of our bow. And I think I'm going to do the orange next. And we're going to make our tail about that long. I'm going to pinch that. This is really thick. And make our bows a little bit smaller so we can see the ribbon behind. Go from back to front, and let's measure our bows a little bit shorter. We're gonna make 4 loops. See if our loop is about the same length. This is really thick ribbon. This is like a really thick burlap. It's pretty, but it's just really hard to maneuver. Okay, but the good thing is it'll stay in place once you figure out what that place is. Okay, so we're gonna measure our loops. There we go. And then we're going to cut our tail. Okay, now let's get our orange, our green with orange carrots. We're gonna pinch our tail. It's a good size. And then let's make a smaller loop. Okay, bring that forward. And I think of this one, we'll just do 2 loops. What about here? All right. We'll fix this later, I promise you. Bear with me, don't leave me. Okay, and then, I don't know, we could just leave it at that. What do you think? Or should we add our 1 inch, 1.5 inch? Yeah, let's add the 1 inch. Okay. So we're gonna pinch that. And then make sure our loops are the same size. Alrighty, and then we're going to cut our bow, our ribbon. Okay. We are going to kind of fluff our ribbon where we want it, sort of. Okay, and I think I like it like this. Now, we're going to take our ribbon in the back, our chenille stem in the back. We're gonna get our zip tie. And make sure that our ribbon, this is really thick burlap, y'all. Make sure that our ribbon looks nice. Let's put this in here. Before we tighten it all the way, let's just make sure this is even. Yeah, it's even. And that it's not rolled, the ribbon isn't rolled in a funky place. And we're gonna cut this off with our wire cutters, not with our scissors. And let's fluff out our bow. So we're gonna kind of sort of fluff it out here, but let's place it where we want because it's gonna get wrinkled anyway. So I want to be right there. So I'm going to take my chenille stems and poke them through our twigs so that I could get to the other side. And upside down, that's how it looks. Just gonna secure it on there. Tie it a couple times. And now, scoot this over. Now we can fluff out our ribbon. Of course, it got squished, so it needs to be repositioned. And just move it around where you want it. It's wired, so it's stronger ribbon, which can handle a little toughness. And we're going to curl our tails so that it kind of gives the illusion of being another loop. And we're going to separate our bow here. Okay. We're going to mess with our bows a little bit later. I just kind of want to have an idea where it is because I'm going to be placing florals. All right, so that's what our bow looks like. Now, I have gone ahead and cut some of the greenery. I just found greenery in my stash here. So I found this, and I have these, just a mixture of orange florals. So I like to always put my greenery inside, in place, inside my wreath, I guess, before I glue anything in. Just to get an idea of where I'm going to have my greenery. Now, I'm gonna roll these like this just to get these little ones out of the way. And then when we're done, I'll unroll them. Same thing goes for that. We'll mess with the ribbon later. Okay, so we're gonna put our greenery. This is what I'm saying. You see, if it's this loose, it's just gonna fall in. There's nothing to hold on to it if it's too loose. So you don't want it, when you're picking your grapevine, you don't want it to be so loose. You don't want it too tight. You want it like Goldilocks, it has to be just right. So let's get our floral stems, pull them up, and we're gonna cut them. Again, I cut them longer because you can always cut shorter, but you can't grow back stuff. And just maneuver where we want these little leaves. And just cut our florals. Just go ahead and cut a couple of them. And we will place them. It's a little too long. I'm crafty locks. That's what I am. Just looking for the right length of our stem. And just keep cutting our stems. And we'll just put our florals different areas of our wreath. Isn't that looking pretty already? Should I hear that loud bang? I think they're bowling upstairs. Okay. I like the way that looks. And I'm not going to glue it just yet. I'm going to do the bottom as well. Let me put this one down here. Okay, now let's start on the other side. And you see how I left a little bit of space here because I still want to see the grapevine, but I do want there to be florals, but I still want them to, I want it to be known that it's a grapevine, not a deco mesh or not, another kind of base. It's a grapevine base. And this is a great, the florals are just great wreaths. You know, they just really accent a door very nicely. I think they look elegant. These are more elegant wreaths. I love the deco mesh wreaths, don't get me wrong. You can make those elegant as well. But I feel like this is more like a muted elegance. You know, like it's just more, it's a quieter elegance. So I definitely see beauty in both kinds of wreaths. If you've never made one of these, let me know. If you've only worked with deco mesh and you've never done a grapevine wreath, let me know. This is your first one. Hopefully you try to do them. Okay. So I really like the way that looks. Let's start gluing in our florals. So I do have a glue pot and I just dip it in there. Okay. And we'll just glue, put the glue at the tip. And then remember where we put our greenery in. I don't know what is going on inside the house. It is really late and I hear movement and it's a little, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little creepy. So I'm curious what's going on in there. You know, when you hear doors shut and people walking. Like, I'm usually up late crafting, so I'm the last one to go to bed. I'm also the night owl. And I saw this TikTok that made me laugh. There's a lady turning off the lights and then she just runs, she like dashes quickly upstairs so that whatever she's afraid of in her imagination won't get her. I'm like, I feel so seen, that's me. Y'all, I'm a chicken. I can't watch scary movies. I can't even watch Scooby-Doo. Like, remember that show back in the day, the cartoon? Nope, couldn't do it. It was too scary for me. Guess I could craft during the daytime, but my kids do not let me craft. They will run in here, try to hang out with me. And they're little, you know, I have a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a now 6-year-old. And they just love, they're so sweet. They just want to be with mommy all day. So, you know, we do a lot of activities during the day and I'm with them during the day. So I don't really get to craft much during the day. So I have to do my crafting at night. And it's creepy at night. So it's okay. Okay, now this one I kind of wanted to hang down a little bit just to give it, you know, some, I don't know, gives it a nice look. And if you're noticing, I'm not putting them too tight, too close together, and they're kind of just like, kind of wild all over the place because in nature, flowers aren't, they just grow wild, right? So on a grapevine, I kind of want to mimic that as well. So you'll notice that I don't stick. I don't place my flowers, my greenery in order. It's kind of one's facing that way, one's facing this way. I think it gives it character. Oops, I just got some on our ribbon. Now, if you did what I just did, if you see that, there's glue on there. Don't just take it off right now. Let it dry. It's much easier to take off once it dries. I'm not liking the placement that I had before, so since that other one's done, I can just kind of see where I want to put it now. Let's put this one there. I don't want too many flowers close together. Do want to space it out with some greenery. And you see how this one's facing this way, this one's facing this way, now this one's facing over here. I like that. That gives it, like I said, more natural look. And I like to put some facing this way on the side as well, because you don't know which way your client's door is. So you don't want to leave the side bare. So you see that? I want the side to be full. And I'll tell you, if I'm selling these, because I sell my wreaths on Etsy, when I'm finished making a wreath, I'll take a picture and then I'm like, oh, you know what? It looks bare in that one area. So I'm always going back and retouching it. So you're never really truly done all the way. Okay. Oh, so this part here, this glue, now that it's dry, we can just peel it off. If you do it when it's wet, you're just gonna smear it everywhere. And then it'll be too thin to peel off. So if you get glue on your ribbon, let it dry. Once it's fully dry, then you could just peel it off. Just be sure flowers don't stick to it. And then I'm gonna unroll my ribbon here. And I'm actually gonna cut my ribbon. I think I want it kind of angled like this, which means I'm gonna have to angle this one. Make this a little bit shorter. And these I will leave straight so that they kind of look like more loops. How pretty that looks. All right, I'm gonna show you guys facing forward how it looks. It looks a lot better that way.